In this lesson, you will create a dynamic block whose custom grip drives a complex system of geometric and dimensional constraints. You will also learn how to hide specific geometry within a dynamic block by converting selected objects into construction geometry. Open the Gothic Arch 3 project file and select all the objects on the screen with an enclosing window. And then type B-Enter to execute the block command. Give the block a name, Ogive Designer, and then pick a point for that block by clicking this button and snap to the midpoint of the horizontal line in the middle. Choose Convert to Block and Open in Block Editor and click OK. Notice that the geometric constraints are visible here by default in the block editor. Now let's assign a new dimensional constraint within the block editor. This is going to be different than if we had assigned this outside the block editor, because the block editor will also create a parameter for us that will allow us to edit this as a dynamic block. So click this button to assign a radius parameter and constraint to the circle on the right. Select it, and then hold down Shift, right-click, and choose Quadrant, and click the eastern quadrant of the circle. That creates a new variable called rad2, and it's equal to the current radius of the circle, which is fine. Press Enter to complete the command. You also get this grip right here, and this will be used to drive the entire system. So this is a dynamic constraint that can drive the whole system. To demonstrate this, I'll double-click on it, and let's change this value to 2. Enter. So it's driving the system. Over here we have an annotational constraint, which is sort of along for the ride, if you will. Let's also hide some of these lines, which we don't really need in the completed dynamic block. Click this tool, Construction Geometry, and then select the vertical symmetric line and these two shorter vertical lines. Press Enter, and then choose the default option, which is Convert. They now show up with a dashed appearance here, and they're grayed out to indicate that these lines exist only inside the block definition. They won't appear when this becomes a block reference. Go ahead and click Close Block Editor and then Save Changes. It says it's not fully constrained, but that's okay. It will still work as we have designed it. Let's go ahead and see how it works. Click on it, and you'll see the dynamic block's custom grip on the right. Click that grip and move it, and you'll see that it works as intended. The circles scale together, and we get a different ogive shape as we move the grip left and right. Press Escape to deselect, and let's just add a finishing touch. Press H and press Enter to execute the hatch command. Click in this area and change the pattern to solid. Change the hatch color to green and click Close. Now let's go ahead and edit this again, select it, and move the grip. The hatch pattern is associated with the dynamic block, so it automatically changes its shape as we adjust the shape of the ogive. So in this lesson, you have learned how to drive a system of constraints using a dynamic block parameter with a custom grip. In this way, you have created a simple user interface for the exploration of the ogive shape.